Hey everybody, Sylvia K here, and today I'm going to be making some sweet tea concentrate. And so what I have going on is 10 cups of water. I'm going to bring it to a boil, and then I'm going to add to it 16 individual black tea bags and let it steep for about a half an hour. And I'm going to add to that 5 cups of granulated sugar. Make sure it is thoroughly dissolved. And I'm also going to be adding to that a teaspoon of baking soda. Baking soda helps to smooth out the tannins in your tea, and it's one of the things that makes Southern sweet tea very, very delicious. So at any rate, after I get through doing this, I'm going to water bath can it for 15 minutes, but I'm going to do it an extra 5 minutes. And rather than water bath can, I'm going to steam can it in my pressure canner. And after I get through doing that, I'm also going to be doing some Philadelphia cream cheese to can. Philadelphia cream cheese, just like any other dairy product, is becoming harder and harder to come by. And when you do come by it, it's also increased dramatically in price. So what I have here, I have 7 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese, and I have it sitting in a very hot water bath, and I'm going to let it start slowly melting, and then I'm going to beat it with a portable mixer and get it to where it's pretty much smooth, no lumps and everything. And then I'm going to add it to my pint jars. Okay, so what I've done is I have taken my little portable mixmaster and whipped all this Philadelphia cream cheese up, and I have these jars here, these half-pint jars sitting in hot water. And so what I'm going to do now is start loading them up. I'm going to put them back into these bread loaves that I filled with hot water so they can stay warm, so I won't shock the jars too terribly much by putting them in the canner. And I'm going to go ahead and can my sweet tea and my cream cheese at the same time, since their processing times are about the same. And so what I'm doing now is I'm taking a chopstick and I'm going down all along the sides of the jar so I can get out any air bubbles that are in here. And I want to leave about the average head space, which would be about a ½ inch. But I also have to be a little more careful about cleaning these jars up too. Naturally, none of these canning recipes for dairy are approved by the FDA, and that's fine, but this has been carried out for a very long time, and if it's done in sterile conditions and done properly, there's no reason for anybody to panic. Now, I've taken a couple of towels that I've doubled here, and I want to just tap my jars pretty good so that I can get any extra air bubbles out of here. Now, I've watched quite a few methods of doing this. Some people take them and cut them up in cubes and then set them in a pan of boiling water to let the cubes soften up. And some people kind of do about the same thing I did, put it in a bowl and put it in the microwave, but I don't have a microwave. So I rather like my method. And also, it's easier using a little chopstick here to make sure you try to get the air bubbles out and down. I'll remove a little bit of this. So, you can freeze Philadelphia cream cheese too, but it's kind of iffy to use it because it gets really granulated when it defrosts and stuff. So it's best, I think, to do it this way. It keeps in the refrigerator for quite a long while. But I think I kind of like doing it this way. That way I can see for sure that all the bubbles are out, and it's not so runny that it just pours in the jar, but it still scoops. And then of course I could always refrigerate it just a little bit if I wanted to firm it up a little bit. But this is the way I'm doing it, and I think it's going to work out pretty ding boo-ha. Now I've got my tea all ready to go here, so I'm just pouring it in these pint jars, and this will be a concentrate. 1 pint will make up a gallon of tea. And some people will say, well, why don't you just make sun tea? Well, just take a look outside, folks, and that's the reason why I'm not making sun tea, because the sun isn't always out. As a matter of fact, I'm having to charge my batteries today because it hasn't been overly sunshiny in the past couple days. Okay, so I've got my pressure canner started out not all the way on low, since the water was already pretty hot when it was in there, but it took me a while to load up all the cream cheese jars, and I went ahead and loaded up my tea too, because they're going to process at about the same amount of time. And so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and steam can everything for 25 minutes. I'll wait till my pressure comes up and it starts steaming, and as soon as I get a really good steady stream of steam coming out this petlock right here, I'll start my timer. And like I said, steam canning is just as safe as water bath canning, but the main difference is the amount of water that you use. And so in order to conserve water, if you are able to have a pressure canner, you might want to consider steam canning as an alternative to using your water bath canner.
Later.
Okay, this has been steaming for about a half an hour, and I've let the canner be turned off now for almost 15 minutes, and I've loosened up all my things here, and I've watched a few canning videos, and everybody always says, and I've said it a few times myself, but after giving it due consideration and thought, everybody always says when you open the canner, open it away from your face. Well, now that I've thought about it, anybody who doesn't have sense enough to open a steaming hot canner away from your face really probably ought not be canning anything anyway. Okay, so here we have my finished product for my sweet tea concentrate, and now all I have to do is just pop one of these in the refrigerator and fill it up with cold water, and I'll have some tea just in time because I'm on my last Dr. Pepper. And also, my cream cheese is finished canning. I did have quite a bit of siphoning on this, so the only thing that I can possibly suggest is maybe give it a little extra headspace. But other than that, they all sealed. They all look pretty good, and I'll find out how they are when I go to make me either some cream cheese Danish or possibly cheesecake. And that'll have to wait till I get another springform pan. So I guess it'll be cheese Danish. Anyway, that's all there is for today. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope everybody's well, and I'll see y'all later. Bye-bye.